Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacy. This is my recent-ish reads. Some of these books I read in October, some in November. I didn't film an October wrap-up because I have been DNFing so many books the last 2 months. I don't know if it would be considered a reading slump, but I feel like a lot of the things that I've been reading, I just have not been interested in or have been kind of hating, and so I haven't finished that many books. So I'm not going to talk about any of the books that I have DNF'd because I didn't take the time to go through Goodreads and figure those out. So these are just the few books that I actually did finish. The first one that I finished in October was The Lost Boys of Barlow Theater by Jamie Jo Wright, and I gave this book 5 stars. She is kind of hit or miss with me. Some of her books are just kind of middle of the road. A few I've really loved. One in particular I did not like at all. So this really is an author that I'm kind of like a little concerned going into it if I'm gonna like it or not. But that being said, this book was phenomenal. It is my absolute favorite book of hers. I've read all of her books except for one, and this is absolutely my favorite. I won't go into too much details about what it's about, but it did have really great faith content. The story was very engaging. I liked both the past story and the current story, which isn't always the case. I don't love contemporary in general, but I did like the contemporary story. It was very thriller-esque, and sometimes I do like contemporary thrillers. I really enjoyed the romance in this book, both the past and contemporary romance. A lot of times I don't love her romance. I like her thriller plot way more than the couples that she puts together. But in this one, I really liked both. I liked the characters a lot, especially in the historical part. Those characters were my favorite, but I did like the characters at both ends. There were lots of times I was really wondering, how is she going to pull this off? What is the explanation here? This is crazy, but everything comes together really well in the end, and I was happy with how she tied everything up. So yeah, I really recommend this one. Next book I finished was Apple Cider Slang by Julie Ann Lindsay. This is like the darling of BookTube. I feel like if you like cozy mysteries, I feel like a lot of people really like this one, and it was really big last year. I'm sorry, my dog just got her Kong and she's like chewing on that and making really bad noises, so I apologize for that. But yeah, Apple Cider Slang, I loved the characters in this book. I really liked the mystery, the plot of the story, and the grandmom, the main character's grandmom, I thought was perfect. I adored her. I loved how strong she was. There was a scene in the book involving a four-wheeler. I won't give any spoilers, but the scene with the grandma and the four-wheeler, I literally gasped out loud. I was in the car riding with my husband while I was listening to this, and I absolutely was like, oh, like that when this scene happened. And he's driving and he's like, wait, what just happened? It was so good. So yeah, if you are looking for a cozy mystery that would be perfect to read this time of year, it's that like sweet spot in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So if you're a seasonal reader, this is a great time to read this book. I looked at book 2 and I saw that it takes place in the summertime. And since I'm seasonal, I don't want to read it right now. I'll wait till the summertime to read that book. But yeah, it is really good characters. Recommend that one also. The next book I finished was book 3 in a series by Colleen Coble, and that book is called Break of Day. I don't remember the name of the series, but the main character, I think her name was Annie Peterson, and it takes place in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, I believe. I gave this one 4 stars. This is the 3rd book in a series, so I really can't go into this much, but it is about a woman who is like a park ranger / law enforcement somehow, and the mystery and plot carries on from the first 2 books, so it is a continuation of the story, and it wraps up really nicely. Lots of faith in this series. I really appreciated that. I really liked the characters. I liked the setting because I don't think I've even heard of the Upper Peninsula, and then I ended up Googling it and checking it out. So I learned a lot. So yeah, this is another book / series that I would recommend. The next one is another book that I was listening to while driving, and this is about a 2-hour long listen. So it is perfect for, you know, smaller road trips, or if you just want to get through a book in a few hours. The book is called Cold Case, and it is part of the Cheeringham Mystery series by Matthew Costello. I have read several of the books from this series, and it is a cozy mystery series that takes place in the Cotswolds, I think that's how you say it, in England, in this beautiful little town, and it takes place during winter, during snow. So again, it's really great to read this time of year. It's a very seasonal read. You feel like you're in this old British town and sitting in a pub with the fire and having some beer, and the snow is falling outside. It's a very good book to kind of transport you into the setting. The beginning of the book does start off in summer. There is a murder that takes place in the summer, but then it quickly moves on to 6 months later in the winter. This cold case gets brought back up, and the main character and his best friend attempt to solve it. The main character is a retired cop from New York City, and he is living on a houseboat in this little picturesque British town. And his best friend is a single, divorced mom of, I think, 2 kids. And there is no romance in this series, at least none of the books that I've read. They are just best friends, and they work on cases together. I love listening to this on audio because the narrator does such a fantastic job. So yeah, I really like this series, and I really liked this one in particular. I gave this book 4 stars. And the last book that I finished recently was A Noble Masquerade by Christie Ann Hunter. Sadly, this one I gave a rating of 3 stars. I maybe should have DNF'd it, but because it was like my favorite genre, Christian historical romance, I should have really loved it. But the way it worked out, I loved the beginning of this book. I kind of feel like the beginning and the end were 2 different books that were kind of mashed together. I loved the beginning of this book. There's kind of secretive letter writing going on, mystery man element. And then once the mystery gets figured out in the middle of the book, the rest of the book is very different. The whole tone of the book changes, and it's just not as cute or sweet anymore. And the mystery man, changes a lot. His whole attitude towards the girl in the beginning changes, and I felt like he was kind of mean, and I didn't understand where his snarkiness was coming from. It really made no sense to me. So yeah, because of that, because I did not like the ending of the book or the second half of the book compared to the first part, I only gave it 3 stars. So yeah, that is everything that I have read recently. Hopefully I start loving more of the books that I'm reading, and I stop DNFing books, which is weird for me because I'm not normally a DNFer. I never was at all. I used to feel like if I started a book, I had to finish it. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, I have less time left on this earth to be reading things that I'm not interested in. So I am kind of much quicker to DNF books. Although I feel like the ones that I was DNFing, I was waiting till about 50%, and that was too far. Anyway, that is all I've got for you guys. I hope you guys are having a great November. It's almost over, which is crazy. And a wonderful December. And I will see you guys soon. I do have a book haul that I want to share with you guys. So maybe I'll film that today if I have time. If not, I will film it soon. So yeah, I will see you guys later.